Hi there, I'm Ray Jean and this is Riley. Welcome to my show. I just wanted to talk to you about something, and I know it's going to sound kind of crazy, but I hope you'll listen until the end. But it might affect how you live your life. It might affect how you see your life. But I'm going to tell you a secret today that my family knows, and this has been confirmed with my mother that this happened. But I'm just going to let you know something that happened to me before I was born. Yes, before I was born. You're a little bit crooked. I don't want that to annoy you. But I remember being on the other side. And I remember being on the outside of a wall and looking through like an oval space. And I saw this lady, and she's sitting on the end of her bed. And she's sobbing, and she's rocking back and forth. And she puts her hands over her face, and she's just crying. Why won't anybody help me? I don't understand. Why won't anybody help me? Can't you help me? Can't you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Somebody help me. I can't take it anymore. And she just starts crying, and I'm standing outside, and I'm hovering, looking through that space, and I'm thinking, yeah, I want to help. I really, excuse my cat. I really want to help. Um, and next thing you know, I'm like zooming upward into the air, into the sky, past the cloud, or onto a cloud. It was actually, I don't know, there was this lady, and I saw her, and I remember us sitting on the cloud, and I remember talking to her and telling her, I want to go down there. I need to help. I can't help anybody from over here. And so we went from that cloud, we went up farther. It was still light. It's not like we went into the dark universe. But we went up above the cloud, and the next thing you know, we're in this big white room with white benches all around it. There's a big entryway door that we came through, and then there's another big entry or exit, whatever you want to call them, doorway. They're doorways. There's no doors on them. They're just open, big, wide, maybe 6 or 8 foot wide, and maybe about 10 foot tall doorways. One on that wall, one on that wall. We came through this wall, and when we came in, there were benches along this wall and this wall, and then there was a hallway between me and the door, it seems. I remember there being a gap between me and the door anyway. And then there was another door. This wasn't just a doorway, it was a door. It was almost a regular sized door, maybe a little bit bigger. And it had a gold knob on it. Not gold, but gold colored knob. I don't know if it's real gold. I don't know that. But they turned the knob. This lady turned the knob, and she went in there, and she talked. I was able to lean forward and see through the doorway this like half of an oval table on the other side of the doorway. But I couldn't see who was on the other half, but I would assume there were people on that half because there were people all on this whole side of the table. When I was able to look in the doorway, I was only able to see half of that because where the doorway was at. So I'm looking in there, and there's men and there's women in there. Nobody had wings. The lady that was helping me didn't have wings. She had brown hair, and she was probably maybe in her 40s or something. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, lady. Don't gonna get that wrong. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she was in her 30s. But anyway, I remember her going through that doorway and coming back out. I call these people the council. She comes back out of that room after a few minutes, and she says, "It is granted." She said, "What do you want to be when you're down there?" And oh yeah, before all this, she told me that that lady might not even be down there when I get down there. But I said I still wanted to go because I wanted to help people. So I'm I tell her I don't know what I want to be. I just want to help people. You know. So she went back into that room, and she came back out, and she said it is granted. So then she takes me through this other doorway that's on that same wall we just came in. This other doorway, and we're like floating, and she's showing me all these mansions, and she told me you'll never own one, but you'll see many of these, but you'll never own one. And I said that's fine, that's okay, I don't care about all that. And then she told me that well, then I remember us flashing down to these different families that she showed me. And then she showed me the family that I chose. She showed me my dad and my mom. And this is my Kia. They showed me my dad and my mom. And my my oldest sister was standing in between them. I'm going to say she's about 3 years old. And my next sister, my middle sister, she was sitting on my mom's lap. And this lady had told me, this lady that was with me, I don't know her name, she told me, she said, now if you pick this family, she says, life won't be easy, but you might make it home. Or, no, life won't be easy, but you'll learn everything you need to learn in order to make it home. And I said, then I want this family, because I need to make it home. And then she took me, you know, we went back up to heaven, and we were talking, and she had told me that something about I would have to learn everything all over again. And I'm like, that's fine. And I know she mentioned math, and I like, oh no, I don't want to learn math again. And it was kind of a funny thing at the moment, really, but in real life, I really hate math. But I told her, she says, well, if you go down there, you just might not make it back. She said, the world's really bad, and it's about to get worse. It's about to be worse than it's ever been. And I said, I don't care. I can't do anything to help anybody from here. I need to go down there. And she had asked me what I wanted to be. That's right. She'd asked me what I wanted to be. And I said, I just want to help people. And I said, I want to be kind of like a guardian, kind of like a guardian angel, you know, that type of person. And she went in and she talked to the council, and she came back out and she said, it is granted. And then she was telling me, now you're not going to remember any of this. You know, I'm like, wait a minute. If I don't remember any of this, how am I going to make it back home? Calling that place home. And she said, well, you can't remember any of this, you know. And then I don't remember much more than that. I remember like falling through the floor of heaven, like there was a fog, like you'd see on TV or something. There's like a light fog on the floor of heaven, and I just dropped right through a hole in heaven. And then I was born, I guess. But my first memory here, well, uh, let's put it this way: I don't remember a whole lot before, and I like had this brain aneurysm that messed with my brain and helped me start remembering some of this. But I had little flashes of this during my life. But one day it all hit me at once. But let me get back to this. I saw that lady next to my crib, and I was just old enough to know how to crawl and pull myself up on the side of the bars of the crib. And because that lady and some other lady was there to see me, and they were like, oh, what a beautiful baby, and oh, she's so cute. And they were just, you know, talking to me. Well, they were talking to each other about me. And they were came right up to beside my bed while I was like you know, standing, wobbling, but holding on to those bars, looking up to them. And then all of a sudden, I heard my mom start to come down the hallway. I think she heard me talking, so she's like, okay, she's awake. I need to go get her, maybe before she starts crying. But I think she heard me, and they're talking to them. So She comes down the hallway and she opens the doorknob, and she, as soon as she went to open that doorknob, those ladies just disappeared. They just disappeared. I remember them coming like out of nowhere from like, I'm in the bed, they came from like this direction to me, and then when they left, they just went poof and were just gone. And that's the last time I ever saw that lady. But all through my life, I kept getting little glimpses of this happening, like little pieces here and little pieces there of the story I just told you. But I kept thinking, oh, it must be nuts. Maybe it came from dreams, or, why am I seeing this? But I never saw the whole picture. But one day I'm angry, and I'm driving down Sullivan Avenue in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm angry. And I'm going through a divorce, and I'm angry at God, like, because I'd ask him, give me the signs, give me signs. And I thought I saw those signs. So now I'm angry with God because it didn't work out. But I'm pounding on the steering wheel. I demand to know why I'm here. Is this Comedy Central to you? Well, I was more like, I demand to know why I'm here. And then it was, is this Comedy Central to you? But however it was worded. And all of a sudden, I had this whole vision, piece by piece by piece. But I still couldn't see the lady's face. And I know I had seen it before. And I remember thinking, she reminds me of my mom when she used to put her hair up in a bun and kind of twist it around and put it up while she did her cold cream on her face. She would do every day to clean her face, to wash it. But apparently this person had it on their face. And I kept thinking, boy, that lady always, she reminded me of my mom's. Same color hair, same figure, same everything. I just always thought, boy, she reminded me of my mom. Well, one day I'm sitting there doing the laundry, and this is about 2 weeks after I had the vision of everything all at once. And I'm folding laundry, and all of a sudden, and I'm thinking about all of that, and all of a sudden I saw her face. I saw the woman's face. It was my mom. It was my mom. It wasn't like my mom. It was my mom. And at this time, I hadn't hardly talked to my mom for 6 months because I didn't want to forgive her for something she said or did years ago. And she said she wasn't going to apologize. And so I was angry and talked to her when I needed to. But when I saw that was my mom, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's who I came here to help. I came here to help her. Oh my gosh, and how I've treated my mom. Oh my gosh. I mean, I moved in with my dad when I was 12 because I got mad at my mom, who really was a pretty good mom. We had our difficulties at times, but I'm sorry, you're snoring. Sorry, I don't even notice that I told you. But we had our difficulties and stuff, but looking back, I had a good mom. But I was angry back then. I don't know. I just thought I shouldn't be disciplined. You know how you are when you're a kid. But I'm like, I gotta call my mom. I gotta call my mom. I gotta go see my mom. I call my mom. I'm like, Mom, I gotta come and see you. I gotta talk to you about something. She's like, why? What's wrong? I said, I'm either remembering something I shouldn't remember or I'm going nuts. I need to talk to you like right away. So she says, okay, come on over. So I came over and I sat on her porch swing and we sat and we talked. And I told my mom what I just told you, how she was sitting on the edge of the bed, what she said. I could tell her where the bed was, where the door was to the bedroom, the wall that I was looking through. Then there was like light coming from this area. So I think maybe there's a window there, but apparently not. I'm just probably seeing light from the room because I've done discussed this with my mom, and she's like, but how could you know that? I mean, how could you know? You knew exactly what I said. You weren't even born yet. You knew the room. You never even lived there. I said, then it is true. Are you serious? It's really true. Oh my gosh. And the way I've been living my life, oh my gosh, because I'd been working in a bar, so I'd been dabbling in things that I shouldn't. I was trying to learn things about New Age, you know, but honestly, when I prayed, things worked better than trying to conjure stupid stuff. I didn't want to use like different herbs and stuff. That's a different subject. When I know I could just talk to God, but I was interested in learning different religions, so that was kind of one of the things that I was learning about, trying to learn how to defend yourself against evil and what's the right religion and what's the difference in the religions and why can't we just all get along? Why can't we all just focus on doing good for each other and get home? But it's easy for me to get off track because of brain aneurysms. So getting back to that. So my mom is in shock because my dad, was a Pentecostal preacher. He's a retired minister anyway. And my dad don't believe in that kind of stuff. But I know my mom told him that story, and like a year later when we went out to eat, I sat and told my dad that story. And he couldn't deny anything because my mom had already had this conversation telling him, there's no way. I mean, I wasn't with Dad when Mom told him, but I can only imagine the conversation. Oh, that's not God. That's not God. That's not God. That's of the devil. But I'm telling you, it's of God. It's of God. And I mean, I know that he exists, and it's almost like I remember seeing like a crowd of people right before I left, but they were like shadowed people, but I can't remember them. But it's almost like it was a goodbye for me or something, where I got to go say goodbye one last time or something. But I, very small glimpse, little snippets is all I ever had. It was once in a while. I just have a little tiny memory. It lasts just a second. But now, now that I had the brain aneurysm, a lot of that was lost, and I'm just now starting to have some of my memories come back. So now I'm starting to remember, and I mean, because when you start having these memories and you're like, you've got gifts like I have that most churches wouldn't approve of, but I love Jesus with all my heart. I love God, His Father. I believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and I know they love us all. They just want us to turn away from our ways and turn to them. I'm not religious. I'm Christian. I believe in God. But I don't think religion would understand me because I have some gifts that, I don't know, my own dad thought was witchcraft or of Satan, and it's not. I'm different. I'm different than others. And now I understand why I'm different. But are you different too? Did this happen to you and you just don't know? Were you born to the parents that you picked? Were you born to them, and did you pick them so that you could learn what you needed to learn to make it in this life or to make it in the next life? Did you forget? Are we all here because we chose to be? Is that the real meaning of life, is to come here and help people? Love each other? Love Him? Try to make it home. Love Him, number one. Because if you love Him, the miracles start happening. But I'm going to wrap this up. I'm at 18 minutes here, and I try to keep it under 30 or about 30 minutes. And I just wanted to share this story. It's been a big secret I've told very few people about in my lifetime. In 100 years, I would tell the same story as long as I still had my memory. But I've told it many times throughout my years, and I haven't strayed from any words. Because, I mean, I might have forgot something that in a sentence that I just told you or told them something I forgot to tell you. But I got a memory problem. And if I remember anything else about it, I'll let you know. But that's what I remember about it right now. And if indeed this is me, this could be you. So be nicer to your parents if you're able. Some are just toxic, and I get it. You gotta step away. And if you gotta step away, at least forgive them for your own well-being. And forgive yourself for ever being angry, because you had a right to be. But if you don't forgive them, it causes sickness, it causes cancers. We gotta forgive. You don't have to live with them. It doesn't hurt to call once in a while, because you never know when that person's gonna pass. unless you're one of the evil ones that's going to celebrate when that person passes. But if you're one of those people, I don't think you'd have stuck it out this long in this conversation. But I want you to know that the other side is real. There's a reason that you're here, more than likely. I think it's possible. I mean, I think I remember them saying that I'd been there before, and now it's worse than ever. So if that's true, then when Jesus said we're born again, did he mean what a lot of religions don't believe in, and that be reincarnation? A lot of religions believe in that. But a lot of things were taken away from our Bibles a long time ago. Check out the Ethiopian version. It's the 7,000-year-old Bible that hasn't been changed. Because we had a lot taken out of our Old Testament. Like a good 3 inches, maybe more. But there's 88 books, and I think we have 66. But I'm sure the writing was bigger, but that sucker was probably like that, their Old Testament. But I pray that God will be with all of you and help you through these hard times and help you with your finances, and I pray that he'll help you to get along with the people around you and help you to get rid of the spirits of sadness and anger and fill your life with happiness and peace and love and joy. Get rid of the bad spirits, evict them out of your life. Anger, sadness, sickness, depression, hate, just evict them. Decide that you're going to choose happiness and you're going to smile again. As you should have seen the way my face was getting between the pain and the bad things happening in my life. I don't even want to get into. I had to do face exercises just to try to look like I'm not frowning all the time. Because my face just is a permanent frown. Permanent frown lines. I've lived in a lot of pain. But you know what? On my decent days, now that it's warmer weather, I'm having some decent days, and praise God for that. Because it makes it so much easier when you deal with any kind of arthritis, which is all through my neck and spine. But I just wanted to come on here and let you know that there is another side. There is something to look forward to. That place is happy. That place is peaceful. You can still visit people, because I don't know if I knew her before. I don't. Oh, and my mom, when I told her that, when I told her my story, she said, "Did you know what that was about? Do you know what I was crying about?" And I said, "No, I don't. If I did, I don't remember." And she said, "It was over your sister, Trudy. I was having a really bad day, and she was just a little thing, and she was just throwing terrible temper tantrums, and I just couldn't handle it." And I was like, "No, I never knew that. If I did, I don't remember that." But apparently I came there to help that lady that was sitting there. People do see you from the other side. I don't remember if I knew her before that. I don't know why I would be checking in on her if I didn't know her. But they didn't let me remember that part, if so. But both my hands up to God as my witness. All my words are extremely true. Extremely true. Why I say extreme, why exaggerate? All my words are true. I promise. As God is my witness, I wouldn't lie to you. I want you to know right now that there's a possibility that you're here because you wanted to be. And even if you're not, I hope you'll be somebody's guardian angel while you're here. Look out after people, the homeless. See what size clothes they wear. Next time you see them, pull it out of your car, give it to them. Keep your window rolled, so if you're giving the homeless something, I don't think they're gonna mug you, especially in the middle of a busy intersection. But I just sometimes will hand them clothes that we don't need anymore. Instead of giving them to the Goodwill, just pass them an outfit out the window if they look like they fit your size. Bring them a water. Drop it off to them. It's going to be hot out there. If you don't want to give them money, bring them a bag of chips, you know, an apple. Maybe not an apple. They might worry it's been tainted, but things that are packaged so they know that it hasn't been messed with. But let's take care of each other. What do you think? You see your neighbor carrying groceries or something heavy. Hey, can I help you? Even if they say no, you at least offered. But who knows? They might say yes and really wish there was somebody there to help. Believe me, there's often times I wish there was somebody here to help me. In order to get my water out of the car, I gotta like cut the thing open and put like 6 in a bag and take it in back and forth to get it in my house. Just, you know, help out your neighbors. If it's wintertime, shovel snow for them. They really appreciate it if you're healthy and physically able. You know, let's do things for each other again. I remember a day and age I was growing up, people used to smile when they saw each other. But people used to go to church, and a lot of people knew each other because of church. Everybody had friends because of church. I gotta say, I don't go to church, but I wish I could find. I'm trying to go to my mom and dad's church on my days that I'm physically able, but that's not very much. So I gotta watch some stuff on TV. But do what you can to be helpful to the community, helpful to your friends, your neighbors, and your parents while you still got them. Who knows? You might be here to help your sisters, your brothers. I'm so sorry. He's such a snorer. But I hope you stuck around. If you stuck around this long, thank you for watching. If you wouldn't mind, share the video and maybe check out some of my other videos. I've got some very helpful information in some of them. I think in most of them. Except for the ones from way back when I was just filming orbs after my son died. Yes, orbs. And that's part that I forgot to tell you about. I'm going to have to extend this because we went back to sitting on that cloud after she accepted me of everything. And we were looking down, and there was a bar that I was able to see from a distance. It had 2 big wooden doors and 2 big brass handles that looked like twisted brass handles. And one of the doors opened. I think somebody opened one of the doors, and we flew in. And she was an orb, and she was bigger than me. I know I sound crazy, but listen. And I was a smaller orb. And I'm kind of following her around in this establishment, which was very dark. And on the ceiling, there was the mirror ball, and there was light reflecting all over the walls. I know how now that's done. I know how it was like they have these color balls that are in there reflect on it. But to me, I saw the mirror ball, and I saw these lights just dancing all over the walls, and I just thought it was so beautiful. And at that time, she told me, she said, now, you can go in these places. She says, but if you spend too much time in them, you'll lose your soul. And I remember thinking, oh no, I don't want to lose my soul. So, I mean, I'm lucky that I didn't, and that I'm on the right path now, because I was working in bars for a long time before I remembered a lot of this. As I said, I saw little pinches of glimpses since I was a little kid, but I just tried to ignore it because it didn't make sense till that one day in the car, and it all came together. So, I mean, I truly believe that we're here for a reason. But make your life worth living. Make the mistakes you made not worth thinking back about. Forgive yourself for what you've done in the past. Move on with yourself and create a new you. Become who you want to be. Let go of who you were. Forgive yourself like God already forgave you if you've asked Him. If you didn't, give your life to Christ. And if you already have, start living like that. Start living like, let's all start living like Christians should. Love each other. Who cares what side they're on? Who cares what color they are? Who cares? We're all humans. Love each other. I love you. All of you. Yellow, black, white, Indian, Mexican. I love you all. God bless you until I see you next time. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.